Welcome, dear listeners and viewers. This is Atheist Republic South Africa, and we are on Meet the Atheist. And today we are meeting Odhiambo from Kenya. Let Odhiambo introduce himself, his names, and tell us what he does. Hi, Odhiambo. Welcome.
Hi. I hope you can see me.
Yes, I saw you.
Okay. So I'm Dans Onyih Odhiambo, the president of Kenya Humanist Alliance. So basically, Kenya Humanist Alliance is one of the humanist and atheist organizations in Kenya.
Oh, yes.
Dans is a teacher teaching A-level mathematics, economics, and business studies.
Oh, mathematics and scientific. It's economics and scientific also.
Yeah. Economics is a normative science. I think is a social science. Yes. It is scientific because in science, we deal with the facts, models, and theories. And we have economic theories and we have economic models.
Oh, yeah. I do have my reservations on economics because I think with economics, it's not observation of what is happening, but it's manipulating of what is happening.
But based on data, we use data. Yes. So yes. It is easier to manipulate data.
Yeah, I've got a long story for economics.
Yeah. If you look at most of the religious people, they are trying to manipulate theory, which does not work.
Oh yes. But they are trying to deal with it from the intellectual space and influence the whole behavior thereafter. But yeah, one day we'll have coffee when I'm in Nairobi. We'll talk about this economics.
Welcome to Nairobi.
Yeah, and tell me, we asked for an interview with you because we understand you are an atheist and you are a humanist. But I don't know. Are people born atheists, humanists? So what's your background? Where did you start? Where did you start being an atheist?
Being an atheist, I started being an atheist back in the year 2008. That was in Nairobi. After I had interacted with one of the Center for Inquiry officials, even though the atheistic worldview is one of the worldview that I've had since my childhood. So when I met this guy, and he gave me some of the materials or resources that were sent by Center for Inquiry Transnational. When I read them, I realized that, we have a number of organizations whose members are people of a naturalistic, humanistic, or atheistic worldview like me. So at least I found a home. I've said that that was in the year 2008. So there is one of the resources that I obtained from this. My friend is called George Ongere. George Ongere is one of the known atheists in Kenya, and also an atheist writer. So basically, I got a book called A Science Found God by Emeritus Professor Victor J. Stenger. Emeritus Professor Victor J. Stenger.
The name of the book?
Has Science Found God?
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, this is a book that is written, it has some of the theories, some of the models, the way Victor J. Stenger explained his points, I was so much interested. Being a mathematician, I like numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And being an economist, I like theories.
Lovely.
On that, I came over some resources that were talking about on-campus organizations. I think on-campus Free Thought Alliance. It was Campus Free Thought Alliance, something like that. So I said, why should we not start such kind of organization? Because you go from one college to another, we have those students who are having or holding naturalistic worldview.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat with him, we discussed and agreed that we have to establish two organizations, one in Moi University, and the second one in University of Nairobi. So these organizations were established. Basically, I was in Moi, so I could easily monitor the one that was registered in Moi. And then, my friend George was in Nairobi. He could coordinate with our friends who are in University of Nairobi. So that is how the on-campus free thought or atheistic movement started in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
In the year 2010, there was a meeting also, which we attended and invited so many students who were having the same worldview to attend at a place called Shauri Moyo Youth Center. This meeting was sponsored by International Humanist Ethic Union, IHEU, currently Humanists International. And
Yes.
the late Deo of Uganda, who was the director for East Africa, IHEU, and also Center for Inquiry Uganda, embraced the meeting. It was sponsored by IHEU, and so many students were invited for a 3-day event. Basically, this event in 2010, it was meant to enable Kenya start an umbrella humanist organization. And throughout the discussion, we agreed to start an organization called Kenya Humanist Association, whose president was the late Moses Alusiola, who died, I think, 2 years ago. Sorry for the late Deo, the late Deo of Uganda, and also the late Moses Alusala, who were the founding fathers of these movements, I believe, in East Africa. And in fact, I still give them credit because I witnessed what they did during their time. Most people were not aware of humanism and even atheism. I know we have those people who are born atheist and humanist, but now establishing such kind of an organization like the one I'm leading today.
Oh, yes, in
It
an
was,
organized fashion. In
yeah,
fact,
yeah, yeah.
all of us, are we not all born atheists?
We are all atheists
Yeah,
until
before we are indoctrinated.
before we are indoctrinated, we are all born atheists, and that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
you find that in the year 2010, we started this organization, but after 2010, I tended to concentrate on my academics. And because I told you the other time that, the first organization that I organized in Moi, it was organized after SDA convention. And, the Adventists, during their convention, they believe that they are the most faithful. So they do invite other denominations as well as Islamic communities, or maybe the Hindus who are in Moi. So we attended that convention, and
did they invite the humanists also?
No, I just went there, and during the discussion, I opposed the fact that there is a supreme being, and that
so
fueled
you went there as a troublemaker,
as a troubleshooter. so it was so funny because it was one person against almost 3,000 students, and they were saying that you are mad, you don't know what you are talking about. And I asked them that simple question. If you look at Christianity, for example, it has taken barely 300 years in Kenya. If you look at the time when the missionaries and the imperialists brought Christianity, it has not even taken 200 years. Before that, there were so many atheists in Africa, because what we used to do was just veneration. If you see a mountain, and maybe show some respect to that mountain, some people will think that this guy is worshiping the mountain. No, it is not worshiping. It is veneration, showing respect to the nature. That mountain is a natural feature. So Africans were religiousless. So we were religiousless. We had no religion. So after that, I invited them now to come for our meeting, our conference also, which was also supposed to take 2 days.
Are you inviting the 3,000 attendees?
No.
Okay.
No, you invite the leaders, but you make it public, because we had a hall. You only book the hall and inform the dean that, dean of students, on this day we are having our own event, so that you be authorized to use the hall. So that meeting, I can tell you, the hall that contains over 1,000 people, the hall that contains over 1,000 people was full. And these people, they did a background search before attending the meeting. They knew that I'm associated with the Center for Inquiry. And because the headquarters for the Center for Inquiry is in New York, this is an American organization. So according to them, I was the one who was being indoctrinated to leave Christianity and join humanism or atheism.
Just based on geographic location?
Yes.
I say they make that decision because of the location of the headquarters.
Yeah, true. So most of them knew that, this guy, either he has been, he has been bought, he want to confuse us. And, I can tell you, it was opposition. I remember one of my friend who is a Somali student, who was also so much aggressive, stood and asked me why is it that the organization, I was advocating for the formation of a humanist organization in Moi. And to them, establishing a humanist organization was just okay. But now to these Muslim students, their question was, if they have to join, then we have to stop associating with Americans and resort to maybe going to United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, the Arab world. So it wasn't easy.
Yes. In Saudi, do they have a center of inquiry also?
No. There is no Center for Inquiry in Saudi.
Oh, okay. But why, how do they expect that to happen then?
There is always we have those people who came up with the concept of Islamic humanism and Christian humanism. That does not exist.
Yeah.
Because
In fact, I'm busy with my studies also on humanism now.
yes.
And the fact that I found very disturbing, it's when they
Yes.
talk about African humanism.
Yes.
I think we are trying to start something that is not there. A humanist is a humanist. And part of being a humanist is seeing that discrimination is not a good thing.
Yeah, true. So basically, there is only one definition for what humanism is. So I told them that there is nothing like Christian humanism, Islamic, Hindu humanism. Being a humanist, as long as you are a humanist, we have those values and principles.
Yeah.
That
and now you talk about Hindu humanism.
Yeah.
In the studies that I'm doing, I did find that also. I said, no, man. Academics sometimes they get confused. If a person was a Hindu and they do humanism, why should it be Hindu humanism? But yeah, I'm with you on that one.
So you look at that, you wonder. I think some of the scholars, there was, some of the scholars, they just want to coin and intertwine some concepts
and categorize and write papers.
Write papers, patent some wordings, and I know you will ask yourself, how can you patent a word? Maybe there are those people who used it before you.
Yeah, but they did not patent it. In South Africa, we've got a tea called rooibos.
Yes.
You can hear from the word rooibos that is South African, but the patent is in America now.
Yeah, true.
For that tea, that grows here in Cape. Yeah. Then tell me, before we forget about this one, we said we are not born believers, but
true.
You were indoctrinated at one point, maybe?
Basically, in any setup, a child, if you just give birth to a child in any environment, the child will tend to adopt the culture of that environment where the child stays. So, in many families, like, for example, in Africa, on Sunday or Saturday, based on somebody's calling.
Sorry about that. I dropped it.
Okay.
It was from my side, yes.
So
what did you absorb as a child?
So you find that indoctrination starts by it depends. A child is an innocent being, but now when your parents takes you to church, takes you to mosque, takes you to synagogue or whichever the worshiping place. That's where the indoctrination starts. And being coming from a family of Catholics, and with at least 2 priests. I think we have 2 in the same home. In the same home, we have I think 2 priests and 1 catechist. So you look at how religious the family is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
yes.
Yes. And so this means that as a child, you have to attend all the Sunday services, you have to attend all the services that are required. But it came a point where now now in high school, that is, when you are increasingly becoming enlightened, especially to those people who like reading different books, you will start asking yourself a question. And one of the things that has also come out clearly in one of the books that I've written, I think I'll share it when it is the right time. There was a time when one of the goats that I was gifted as a child, that is back in grade 8. So a goat that, one of the goat that I was gifted, got lost. And there was this preacher from our neighborhood, there is a traditional African church called Legion Maria. They are fond of wearing the kanzus, these are these long dresses. This guy who was a preacher, and the community told it that this guy could foresee, could predict, and even could guide you in case you have lost any item. He could tell you where this item is. So, as a curious child, I went to his home to report that, we have lost a goat. And this guy told me that, after, speaking in tongues, because I don't know what he said. These guys, they are fond of scaring you, you may think that they are talking with a certain God, or maybe they are communicating with some supreme being. So when this guy told me that, the goat is already slaughtered, but I can still assist you to get it back. So, as a
slaughtered
child,
one.
It is already slaughtered. How will you bring it back? I left his home a disappointed child. I think I told my parents what had happened. And later, after 2 days, we got that goat. It mixed with some goats belonging to other person. And this guy, on realizing this, he do a search, and he was directed to our home. And that's how we got the goat. And you could hear some people talking about, Nabi, prophet in Kiswahili. We do refer to him or her as Nabi. So, Nabi Auma is the one who prayed for you. I knew that Auma already told me that this goat was slaughtered. How could it be brought back? And the guy who brought it back told us that, this goat, when he was grazing some of the goats that he has, it got mixed with those goats. And he never knew that the goat belonged to us. So he had been searching the owner of this goat. Yes, for 2 days. And this is the point. I was so disappointed by these religious people. So
yeah, using lies.
yes.
But I still find it very unbelievable that a person can tell you that it is slaughtered, but I can bring it back to you. Does it come back as meat in a pot, or does it come with scars, healing after prayer?
In fact, there are so many questions that you can ask there.
Yeah, it's too much.
So from there, that is my background.
Okay, but tell me, you spoke of the book that you are writing, but you say you'll tell us later. Why don't you tell us now? Does it have to do with beliefs, humanism, atheism, or theism? What is the subject?
Basically, the book is written in multifaceted dimensions. It talks about religion, my interaction with the religion, past experiences, It also talks about humanism. And basically, what we have done as an organization, what we have been doing, how it has impacted on the well-being or welfare of some of the people we have reached out to. This book is also going to, there is a deep research that we have done, basically on exposing the religious lies in Kenya. Kenya is one of the countries that has been marked controversies. In Nairobi here, priests, preachers, these religious people, they will use anything possible to con people their hard-earned money. Yeah, and most of the
we know a few like that. We know of the Shakahola story.
You look at the Shakahola. Somebody's owning a palace, by doing what he did. Even though I don't want to mention him because what is in court, we should allow court to declare him guilty or not guilty. With Africa.
And also the Jesus in Africa is in Kenya,
yeah. We have had Jesus Wanyonyi. We have so many Jesuses. Anyway, in Kenya here, we have so many Jesuses.
It's peace in Kenya.
As you can see, in the problem in Africa, instead of people building libraries, instead of people building training institutions, there are many churches, many mosques, and many synagogues as compared to learning institutions. So Africans are continuously praying. Instead of going to the farm, maybe instead of doing something constructive, you find
that is productive.
Yeah, something that is productive. You find that people keep on praying. You find that
we have lost our agency as humans. We think that something from outside is going to do things for us. And whereas the power to do those things lies with us.
Yeah, in fact, I can tell you something. There was a time I wanted to sensitize some of my community members, because you will realize that, people like us who are at least working, you can earn some little income. When you go home there, when you go to the village, the whole village will come to you, maybe to bless them with some coins, some goodies, those utopias and, these good things that are believed to be coming from towns. But now, this is a person who has a large parcel of land, and a river crosses that parcel of land, meaning that this guy has constant, continuous supply or steady supply of water. This is a guy who can do farming throughout the year, with or without rain.
The plot that has a river.
Yeah, the river, there's that permanent river, which is steadily flowing. You can do irrigation. You can even start some vegetable farming. And, it will give you some income instead of begging. So, Africa, we can be food sufficient.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't want to work.
Because we are looking upwards.
Yeah. So this is the major problem. So, I just did a small practice. I just took a parcel of land and planted some vegetables there. And, some of the community members came asking me whether what I'm doing will thrive. Will I get some yield from that farm? Because instead of growing cereals, which were common in the area, I resorted to growing vegetables. And it did well. And today you find that most of the community members, they are growing their own vegetables. They don't rely on those vegetables that are coming from other areas. So we want people who can, enlighten our community members. And the same way I did it in agriculture, is the same way I can use humanism to enlighten the society to stop sleeping.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I can see the similarities there. And tell me, the time is now running out.
Yes.
I've never had a long interview. I'm very brief, but
Yes.
I notice you have a lot to tell us, and we would like to hear more, to know more about your story. Are
Yes.
you on social media?
Yes, I'm on social media. In fact, we just made our website a few months ago under the sponsorship of Atheist Alliance International.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I'm also found in Facebook, but currently I've removed the search engine because there is an organization I'm working with, which is extremely religious, and this is where I'm earning some income. So during the interview, during the interview, I realized that by disclosing my atheistic worldview,
oh yes, it affects business.
it was going to affect the business. So with the learning institution, you have to be very careful. As you know that almost 100, in fact, in Kenya here, it is 100% of the learning institutions. They are sponsored by a particular denomination, be it Muslim sponsored, be it Hindu sponsored, be it Christian sponsored. So you'll find that the atheist and humanist, we get it rough. Yeah, we get it rough. And unless maybe you are employed by the government in an institution which is in the corporate, which is different from the learning institution. So that is why you go, you look, if you try to search my details through search engine, at times, at this time, it is very difficult to get me. But once I have grabbed this opportunity, then
you'll be yourself.
I'll be myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I remember a story of somebody who lost his job there in Kenya. He was working with a bank and he lost.
Yes, the president of Atheist in Kenya Society.
Oh yes, Mumia.
That's Mumia. And Mumia. So you look at
oh yes,
the government organization, firing you because of your worldview. It is somehow painful because we have some specialized professions that is so hard to get elsewhere. Maybe you did something to do with the revenue forecasting, where you can only be employed by the central bank or maybe the revenue authority. And here is a case where majority of members in such kind of public corporation, you find that they are people who are faithful. So they view you as somebody who is an outcast,
it limits you.
Yeah, it limits you.
I understand.
Yes.
Okay. We appreciate your time. I feel that there's more that we can discuss.
Yes.
And also when we are more relaxed and we had technical issues now.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I think we will still get more time here. I'm available on Sundays. I am available. I can tell you as a teacher, I can talk throughout the day without getting tired.
Oh, yes, I can see you're so comfortable.
Yes, we earn from talking.
Yeah, you do it professionally.
Yeah, we do it professionally. So
Yeah.
something that I wanted to mention before we adjourn our meeting is that we have the late Linda Tilly from South Africa. I will always mention her in most of the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the ladies who was endeared to our orphanage. She really helped us. And in fact, when my organization had a lot of problems, there was a time I left humanism because of so many problems, such that I decided to work as a freelance humanist. I never wanted to associate with any organization or any humanist. And it is Linda who came back to me in the year 2021 and told me that, what? If you want to avoid humanism, you want to avoid associating with friends like us. We have good friends. Those children you are supporting, you cannot support them alone. You need a helping hand. And she ended up sponsoring about 3 girls. So Linda was one of the greatest person from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And we really missed her where she is. May she continue resting in peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was on the east coast of the country in KZN.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for your time, and we will contact you again in the future.
There is no problem. Feel most welcome, Bolelang. And,
yes.
I have your contact, you have mine. Dean has my contact. We can always share.
Yes.
Just saying hi does not consume a lot of time.
In fact, it strengthens a lot of other things.
True. That is true.
Yes. Good. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.